First, in Myanmar, where the military staged a coup on Monday, detaining democratically elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi and declaring it had taken control of the country for 1 year under a state of emergency. The intervention came after weeks of rising tensions between the military, which ruled the country for nearly 5 decades, and the civilian government over allegations of fraud in November's elections. The military last week signaled it could seize power to settle its claims of irregularities in the polls, which Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy or NLD party won easily. Suu Kyi and President Win Myint were detained in the capital near Kedah before dawn on Monday, NLD spokesman New Nun told AFP, just hours before Parliament was meant to resume for the first time since the elections. In Yangon, the former capital that remains Myanmar's commercial hub, troops seized the city hall, according to an AFP journalist. Soldiers were in the streets of both the capital, New Kedah, and the largest city, Yangon, according to multiple reports. Elsewhere, the chief minister of Karen State and several other regional ministers were also held, according to party sources, on the very day when the new parliament was to hold its first session. In the hours after the arrest, communications networks in Myanmar were restricted, with several mobile phone networks down. NetBlocks, a non-governmental organization that tracks internet shutdowns, reported severe disruptions to web connections. Phone numbers in the capital, New Kedah, were also seemingly unreachable. Myanmar's polls in November were only the second democratic elections the country had since it emerged from the 49-year grip of military rule in 2011. The NLD swept the polls and was expecting to renew the 75-year-old Suu Kyi's lease on power with a new 5-year term. But the military has for weeks complained the polls were riddled with irregularities and claimed to have uncovered over 10 million instances of voter fraud. It has demanded the government One Election Commission release voter lists for cross-checking, which the commission has not done. Last week, military Chief General Min Aung Hlaing, arguably the country's most powerful individual, said the country's 2008 constitution could be revoked under certain circumstances. In the past week, Myanmar's military had dismissed rumors it would launch a coup after the military's commander-in-chief, Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, told senior officers that the constitution, which outlaws a coup, could be revoked if the laws were not being properly enforced. Over the past week, the military has deployed an unusually high number of tanks around the capital city, raising alarm among civilians and government officials. Min Aung Hlaing's remarks, which came with rumors of a coup already rife, raised tensions further within the country and drew a warning from more than a dozen foreign embassies and the UN. Myanmar has seen two previous coups since independence from Britain in 1948, one in 1962 and one in 1988. Suu Kyi, a former democracy icon and Nobel Peace Prize winner, whose image internationally has been in tatters over her handling of the Muslim Rohingya crisis, remains a deeply popular figure. She spent 20 years off and on under house arrest for her role as an opposition leader before she was released by the military in 2010.